Gwenpool, issue number 2 from Marvel Comics. So, in the last issue, we were introduced to a new character. It is Evil Gwenpool. It was basically Gwenpool that was being trained by the Weapon X program, and then she left to go on a mission, and she ended up attacking Spider-Man, Hawkeye, and OG Gwenpool. Just for the sake of this video to make it easy for me, so I'm not saying Gwenpool and Gwenpool. Gwenpool is going to be the Gwendolyn Pool, the Gwenpool that arrived from our world and got teleported into the Marvel universe. So the pink and white Gwenpool, I'm just going to refer to her as Gwenpool. An evil Gwenpool, I'm going to refer to her as Gwen Stacy because that's who she is. Her identity was revealed in the last issue, and she is Gwen Stacy. And not just Gwen Stacy, but the Gwen Stacy that had her neck snapped. The OG Gwen Stacy is now evil Gwenpool. And we have Gwenpool just talking about comic book stuff. Like, there's the problem with comic books. There's so much backstory, especially when it comes to these two. And she then kind of like explains who all these characters are. And Peter Parker's like, who are you? Because he refuses to believe that this is Gwen Stacy, especially the way she acts. Gwen Stacy says, you know who I am, the woman you killed. And then we see the shot where we see Spider-Man holding on to Gwen Stacy after her neck was snapped. And Peter's like, well, I guess that settles it. You're not Gwen Stacy. Because Gwen Stacy would never act like this. Or maybe he's just trying not to believe that Gwen Stacy would turn out that way. We do have a fourth wall little breaking moment where Hawkeye asks, who is that? And Gwenpool says, Gwen Stacy. Hawkeye says, who? And Gwenpool says, Emma Stone, referring to the actress that played Gwen Stacy in the movies. Peter's trying to figure out who this is. Is this another clone? Is this another robot? And Gwen Stacy keeps saying that it's me, but not how you left me rotting in the ground. Which, yeah, if she was rotting in the ground, does that mean that... I mean, they would have to have cloned her, right? Unless Weapon X has the ability to compose a character that's decomposing for years and years. But yeah, we basically have Gwen Stacy just beating the crap out of Spider-Man to the point where she takes him out. Like, he's basically like unconscious. And then she starts shooting at Gwenpool and Hawkeye and trying to kill them. Pay close attention to this moment where she's shooting at them and legitimately trying to kill them, because it's going to come across later on. I'm going to bring it up again. But Gwenpool grabs her own gun, starts shooting. Gwen Stacy deflects the bullets. Then she throws some sonic grenades. Hawkeye is trying to help Peter Parker. Peter says that the spider senses keep going wild, and then they hear an explosion. And they both are like, what the hell's going on? Even Gwen Stacy's like, what is that? And then we have this moment that I kind of laughed at, where Hawkeye is talking to the Avengers on the Avengers emergency channel. She has like an earbud, and I guess she has like an official Avengers earbud. And Gwenpool is kind of like upset because she's like, how come I don't have one of those? And then we have this moment where Spider-Man is like, Gwen, she's getting away. And Gwen Stacy's like slowly walking away. She's putting on her mask. And then Gwenpool's like, she's slipperier than Venom in an oil slick, that one. And I'm like, she's literally just walking away. She's only like 10 feet away from you. What do you mean she's slippery? You can just go get her. It's not like she pulled a Batman and just like 1 minute she's there and then the next minute she's gone. Like, you can literally see her walking away and she's not that far from you. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. And I don't think that's what they were trying to do, but it just makes them look very, very lazy. Where it's like, she's getting away. She's slipperier than Venom in an oil slick. And it's like, she's literally just walking away 10 feet away from you. Like, that's not that far. You can easily track her down if you want to. And then we get Gwenpool doing some more comic book stuff, where she's talking about how continuity is only one part of comics, maybe the least important thing. I disagree with this. I'll get into it in just a moment. She says, after all, retcons happen all the time. Look at me. And she talks about how Gwenpool, I guess, had been retconned a lot. She started off as a Deadpool wannabe, then an Avenger, then a mutant. But who cares? All that matters is that the book is fun. And this is where I'm like, no. Continuity matters. And retcons, I hate retcons. And she tries to brush us off as retcons are totally fine. In fact, they can be a good thing because they make things interesting. They introduce new elements to change the story, to change the characters, and take it into a new wild direction. And I'm like, you can do that while still keeping your continuity. You don't have to completely retcon something just to add new things to it. I hate retcons. I love continuity. I think this is also, maybe it's just me. You tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is also another reason why manga completely destroys comics in terms of like its popularity and stuff. Is that not only do you just have so much comics, like you want to track down one character. Let's say you're a Batman fan, you want to read Batman. Well, here's 5 ongoing Batman series that are all completely different in different universes and stuff like that. Like, all right, that kind of sucks. Like, I just want to read about Batman. Meanwhile, you want to read about, let's say, Luffy. There is only One Piece. Well, where is the best spot to start with Batman? Well, you can start here, or you can start here, or maybe you can start here. This one is also pretty good, but you need to read a little bit of this to really fully understand this. Where do you start with One Piece? Well, from Volume 1. And you have just the one giant continuity. Yeah, I mean, a couple of times with manga, especially if it's ongoing weekly series, sometimes there will be some contradictions, but those are just because maybe the author forgot about something or whatever. It's not like we're going to completely retcon something so we can take this in a completely different direction. It'll be like, no, we'll just introduce an element that still maintains continuity, that still makes sense in the universe that we've created so far, and this will just change things up a bit, but it doesn't completely break the lore that we've already established. That's my problem with comics, is that they're constantly breaking the lore, constantly retconning, and it just kind of gets annoying. I'm kind of rambling, and maybe I'm confusing some of you. I'm just trying to say that continuity is the most important part of comics, in my opinion. Well, entertainment is the most important part of comics. Continuity is a big, important part of that entertainment, in my opinion. You tell me if you agree or disagree. That's me. But as they're like fighting criminals and stuff like that, Gwenpool gets distracted by Red X. I don't know how else to describe this dude. It looks like Red X to me. I know Red X is DC, I'm just saying. Hawkeye's like, there's no one there. Gwenpool says, sure there was on that building. And then Spider-Man appears. And then we have Spider-Man tracking down Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy's standing over a dude and a girl. And I guess Spider-Man thinks that she's attacking them. He swings down and he grabs her. And it turns out that the dude was trying to assault the girl. So Gwen Stacy throws a kunai at him, injures him, and then stomps him on the head. And Spider-Man's just watching and apologizes before passing out. And then Gwen Stacy freaks out when Spider-Man passes out. Like, she rushes to him. She says, I should let you die after everything you did for me, but we need to get you to a hospital. And then Gwenpool is running by and she sees this. She thinks, oh, Gwen Stacy's about to attack Spider-Man. So she just touches her on the shoulder, and then Gwen Stacy turns around and stabs her through the chest. And she starts freaking out. Like, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm just like, remember when I said earlier about how she was shooting at them and trying to kill them earlier? What do you mean that you didn't try to kill Gwenpool right here? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. The Spider-Man part, maybe. Because even though she was attacking and beating up Spider-Man earlier, she wasn't killing him. But her freaking out about fatally stabbing Gwenpool through the chest, the fact that she's freaking out about that doesn't make sense to me. Because, one, in the very beginning of this issue, she was shooting at her and trying to kill her, except Gwenpool was dodging the bullets, but if she didn't, she would have died. And two, in the first issue, we literally had Gwen Stacy training to kill Gwenpool, and she was even given orders to go after Gwenpool and take her out. So the fact that she completed her mission, and the fact that she completed what she trained her whole life for, or at least trained her whole life while in the Weapon X program for, now she's like, I didn't mean to do that. What? I thought that was the whole thing. I thought the whole point of this new Gwenpool was to kill the old Gwenpool. I don't know. I'm confused. If anyone's like, usually you don't try to spoil an entire issue. There's still more, and it's not really a spoil when it literally says in the cover page the tragic death of the original Gwenpool. We see new Gwenpool stabbing old Gwenpool. So it's kind of hard to spoil something that's on the cover. But yeah, there's a little bit more. I won't, I guess, reveal everything. I don't know what to feel about this. This is kind of weird. It's one of those where it's trying to balance like the OG Gwenpool kooky whimsicalness and then like the gritty darkness of the evil Gwenpool, which can work because you know, you can work by like anytime Gwenpool's around things are more like kind of whimsically. They're more like comedic, more young adultish, you know, geared towards the YA audience. But then when evil Gwenpool is around, things are more darker and grittier and more like a 90s edgy comic. And so you can have like the mix of the two, and maybe Gwenpool is trying to convince or try to do something with with evil Gwenpool so that she can set the world back to the way it should be. You can do something like that. I just don't think they're really executing it all that well here. I think another problem is that I think this is one of those series where you need to have two different artists. Like I see some other comics that'll have two artists. I think this one would be perfect for two artists. You have one artist that has the more YA kind of whimsical-y, kind of Pixar-y, Disney-ish style. And then you have another artist that has like the more gritty, realistic, kind of dark style. And whoever is the focus of the page or panel, you'll have that artist draw that. So then you basically have like contrasting art styles to contrast with the two characters. I think that would have been like a cool thing to do, but they didn't. So I don't know. I'm also kind of wondering like where are you trying to go with this? Because you had Gwen Stacy trying to kill Hawkeye and Gwenpool earlier, and now she's like trying to do good and help people, and then she freaks out about the fact that she accidentally stabs Gwenpool in the chest. So it's like, what exactly are you doing with Gwen Stacy here? It feels like if you're going to try to like set her down the redemption path, it's too early to start trying to redeem her. We literally were just introduced to her in the final pages of the last issue. And now you're already trying to do this. Is she good? Is she bad? She was good and then she died and then she got brought back by villains who were training her. So now she has like this villainous edge to her, but she still has some of the OG Gwen within her. So she's trying to do good and she's struggling to balance it too. Maybe have her be evil for a while and then slowly as she keeps confronting Spider-Man and Gwenpool and stuff like that, maybe she gets reminders of her old life and then more of her old life and personality starts seeping in, and then she starts becoming less and less of the Weapon X Gwen and more of the OG Gwen. Like something like that. I just feel like I don't know what the writer is trying to do here. I'm like confused on what they're trying to take these characters, like what direction. Yeah, I'll keep reading it, but I don't know. So far, I still feel like this is kind of, I don't want to say it's mid. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. It's more of like, I don't know how to feel because I don't know what you're trying to do. I'm confused, kind of. I mean, I understand what the story is. I'm not confused on what the story is. I'm just confused on why are you telling it this way. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Gwenpool issue number 2. Would I recommend it? Even if you're a fan of the OG? Probably not at this point. Let's see if maybe like things will change. But at this point, I'm reading it because I'm a fan of, I actually really do like the OG Gwenpool. I know that might be some like sacrilegious things to say, but it was actually surprisingly well done. At least the first volume was. After that, I didn't really check out much with Gwenpool. I didn't check out any of her stuff with Avengers or her as Immune or anything like that. I just read her first volume and I liked it, and I was like, I can stop with that. Not really enjoying myself, but I'm not like entertained, but I'm not like hating this either. Right now I'm pretty apathetic. So hopefully the next issue will change that. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of apathetic about this series. There's Gwenpool issue number 2. Hope to enjoy the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.